Oh, hi! And it's me again. And actually, I'm pretty excited for this for this well for this episode or show because it's a pretty big it's a milestone for me because I was finally able to get one of the figures that I've been looking for. Uh, there was a time when the figure was readily available, but I didn't have the money. And when I had a bit of the money, I had the money to buy it. There was none available, and that figure is I actually posted it in the community part of my page, more or less as a teaser, and it is the SH Figure Arts Shinkochou Seihou Kamen Rider Double. Now, um, this is very I find it very significant for me because Kamen Rider Double is the first character of the Heisei era Phase 2. So the Heisei era covered a 20-year period for Kamen Rider, wherein we had a different rider every year. Now that is different from the Showa period where there were some riders, specifically Mask Rider Black, who repeated or had 2 seasons, and there were big gaps in the year. While the Heisei era, which started in 1999, had a rider every year. Now, what's so significant about Phase 2 is that there are some differences between the Heisei era Phase 1 and the Heisei era Phase 2. The Phase 1 covered 10 figures. Now, in my previous videos, I talked about I was able to show one of my figures from the Phase 1 era, which is Kamen Rider Den-O. It's actually my only figure from Phase 1. And I was telling that I only lacked one figure from Phase 2, which is Kamen Rider Double. Now, for the Phase 2 figures, there's some difference between Phase 1. In the Heisei era Phase 2, what happened was they now really used the name Kamen Rider rather than Mask Rider, because during Phase 1 and during the Showa era, we still had shows being called Mask Rider. Actually, for the Philippines, Kamen Rider is known as Mask Rider Black. Everybody knows him as Mask Rider Black. And now under Phase 2, they fully marketed it as Kamen Rider. Also, there were different. In Japan, since we all get it here later, they changed the time slots for Phase 2. And for me, that's where I really started, and that's where I really discovered Kamen Rider. But that's for another story. But I'm happy because now I got to complete all 10 of the Phase 2 riders. It started from Kamen Rider Double. Kamen Rider Double is the 11th rider of the Heisei era, or the first rider of Heisei era Phase 2. And he debuted in 2009 under Kamen Rider. Now, the difference between this figure is that this is different from the original Kamen Rider Double, is because this version is actually from the Fruto P figure, which is from the manga figure. But it's still basically the same. It's basically the same figure. It's basically the same style. It's just more of a manga design. But the figure itself is almost no different. There's almost no difference. Now, what's special with this is that this is not the usual SH Figure Arts figure. If you see my previous videos, the box is different, and because this is what I was talking about, the more premium type of figure, which is the Shinkochou Seihou version of the Kamen Rider figures. Now, first off, unlike the older figures or the other more regular figures of Kamen Rider, and even for SH Figure Arts, this doesn't come in a plastic box, doesn't have a plastic window. This is fully enclosed. Also, The design is also features the face of the figure and also part of the design. Also, the box quality is a lot thicker than the normal SH Figuarts, and well, the price is a little bit more expensive. So I was really excited getting this because I was able to complete all 10. Now, not all my figures are of the SS or the Shinkochou Seihou version. I actually have, with including this now, I only have 4. And out of the 4 figures, which of the SS line, I only have 2 of them who are major riders. And I'm also actually excited for next week because we will be showcasing his this other rider from the Kamen Rider W line, Kamen Rider Skull. So that's a teaser for next week because that's one of my first SS figures, and it includes his bike, his motorbike. So unfortunately for double I don't have the hard boiler yet. I don't have the double boiler. I don't have the motorcycle yet. But next week it will be really fun because we have Kamen Rider Skull. But since he is the first rider for the Heisei Phase 2, and it's actually one of my earlier my newer purchases, and we're gonna be discussing this and also discussing the SS line in general as well. While the other 2 is that I also have one from Kamen Rider Amazon. I'll be discussing that also as an aside because it's one of those divergent Kamen Rider series that we have. We'll talk about that since I also have the new Kamen Rider Amazon as well, and the other one is for the other rider for Kamen Rider Zenki. So we'll be discussing that too. But we'll start with this first, and I'm very excited because I finally got all 10. I finally got all 10 of the riders. Now, unfortunately, all of them are not in the SS line. They're different lines. They're from the different, and some of them are from the older versions. But I still have all 10, and I'm happy. So the first difference from the box is that if you'll see from the normal SH Figuarts box is that it's a box that opens with a fold. The SS version opens up separately, so you can already see the quality of the packaging. It's already and then the quality and the packaging itself is a lot thicker than normal. So let's open this. Now this is what this is inside. So the box quality is still a little thicker, and it might seem bare, right? It looks bare, but no. Actually, since it's thicker, let's open this up. So we do have the instructions here, which is typical, but it's even better because the newer SH Figuart line, if you guys were able to see my Kamen Rider revised figure, the instructions are already printed in the box, but now it's still separate. Is that from here, it actually opens up to another part, which includes the detail. So it's very, aside from the figure, well, you know what? Honestly, for the SH Figuarts line, even the normal line is already very detailed. This has a little bit more changes, but for the original Kamen Rider W figures, they were the ones with metal feet, and you know how I don't like those figures with metal feet. So this is a newer version. I would say a better version with a lot more detail. And this is what we have for the Furuto P. Now, please pardon my pronunciation, but yeah, that's how I pronounce it, Furuto P or Furuto Pi. So, but this is different compared to the other SS because this has a lot more stuff. So we'll look at the figure first. So let's get the box out of the way. First off, the figure has this cover. Now it gives the figure a lot more space, unlike the normal figures. So now what's so special about Kamen Rider Double or W is that, unlike as I said before in Kamen Rider Revice, this figure is actually two people in one. The basic story of this is that it's in a world wherein the main character is a detective, right? And he's going against the gimmick is a Gaia, which looks like a flash drive, which gives criminals, I guess, more power, or gets them, but makes them insane and makes them monsters. And this is actually two people combining into one Kamen Rider, which is the total opposite for Kamen Rider Revice. Now, the Henshin version is actually pretty funny because the two riders would put their flash drives or the Gaia memory, and then when they become Kamen Rider Double, one guy falls, like he falls asleep, then disappears. You don't know where he is. But so this is the figure. That's the reason why it's half. Technically, two people. They're basically two people. So normal Kamen Rider, normal SHF articulation, the ball joints and everything that makes them great. But what makes it even better is that, as you can see, the belt, it actually moves. Yes, it moves. The belt moves because you have to put the Gaia memories in. You have to put the flash drives in, and there. So for them to activate, and there's also gives you a separate small box or a small area to put the spare flash drives in, because one of the figures that I have, Kamen Rider Skull, also has his own Gaia memory. So articulation is something to be expected from an SH Figuarts figure. Now the thing is, actually there's not much difference with regards to the manga version and the SS version. It's just an updated body, non-metal legs, and detail is always fantastic for these two. Actually, this has the face of the most similar face, the closest face to Mask Rider Black. So this is actually pretty popular. You know, this figure is actually pretty This specific series is actually very popular as well. And so now, aside from this, we're gonna be looking at the accessories. So you know, it moves, the movement. It's still pretty new, so that's the reason why I haven't really moved it a bit. So articulation is something, it's always to be expected that this was going to be good for an SH Figuarts, especially from the SS line. Now we're going to look at the accessories that we have. Is that these are the accessories. So now, as you can see from this side, is that these are the Gaia memories. It's that small. It's so small that it's very hard if you lose it. Now we do have the extra hands for posability. But the different part of this, one thing that's very different from the other SS figures, is that it includes a stand. Now, not all of them have stands. My Kamen Rider Amazon, and my other, and even Kamen Rider Skull does not have this stand. So that's alright. Now, if you can see, it does have some holes in it, so that if you have the SH Figuarts action base, they do have that. You can, if you want to put them in action stands, you can punch the hole and you can put the stand, the flight stand, or the flight stand on it. So it has 3 pegs for that. But I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm happy with this stand already. So this alone is already worth something because they don't have it. And as an additional, I have to hold the Gaia memories because if it gets lost, it's so hard to find them. Guys, it is that small, and that makes me so afraid to move it. Is that it includes the bandana or scarf? I'm not sure. Maybe scarf. Okay, so let's remove this. Is that it includes 2 kinds of scarves. It includes 2 kinds of scarves. Now, the normal version, live action version is very different from the manga version because of course it's live action, right? So it does offer, as you can see, it does have the peg for the figure to attach to the figure, and one is, it's like it has a wind effect, but this is but it's on hard plastic, and this is soft goods. You know, it's fabric. It's fabric with wire on it, so that it can actually pose. Right, an example of this is I have a figure. It's always something to be wary about. So it does have a peg on the back. So you can put the peg in. Now we have to be gentle because there's actually pretty soft, and that gives you, I don't know, maybe a more dramatic pose, especially if you change the hands. So with a more dramatic pose, maybe if you want to dance, like if you want to join the Eras tour, if you want to bring it to the Eras tour, you know, with all this flowing fabric, which is on glitter. It's glittering, so they can pose. Now it's actually pretty heavy, so I guess having a stand and putting the flight pegs, or putting this action poses, action stands to display it like it's flowing would also work. So we do have this. Now to move it for the other one. Now, one thing also with this is that you have to be careful with pulling stuff because they are very delicate. And see, it is fabric. They have metal. It's just like it has wire in them. Right? And let's put this in. Now it still gives a dramatic pose. You know, it still gives you a dramatic pose. You know, it still makes it really dramatic. But it's not as long, so I don't know why they have it long. Maybe it becomes just like Spawn, but this is better because first it's shorter. Now it's thicker, but it's heavy, but it can pose better. So you can either put it like that, and you can actually rotate it. So it's really meant for action poses. It's really meant for posers to show that the scarf is actually flowing. So that's actually one of the things that made me excited about the Futo P version, because they did release this they did have the 20 kicks version on this, but it's different because the Futo P version is actually I mean, you don't know how to pronounce it, but it's actually newer. So this is basically one of the newest version of Kamen Rider Double already. It might not be the normal version since it's coming from the manga, but nevertheless, it's an updated version, which I always find better. I always find it's better because the thing with SH Regards, they continually improve, and basically I got the newest version available. So this is something I'm very excited about because now I got all 10. Also, it's my first SS pair because now I had Kamen Rider Skull for quite some time already, and he was my only Kamen Rider double figure. Now, for all my other SH Figuarts Kamen Rider line, I don't have much of the riders. Well, I don't. Some of them I do have the secondary riders, specifically Kamen Rider Ghost. I do have the second rider for Kamen Rider Force, of course, is my favorite. So I gotta have the secondary rider there. And I also have for Ghost, because I have Ghost Inspector for Kamen Rider Ghost as my first my primary and secondary rider. I have Kamen Rider Force with my first and secondary rider. I have the Kamen Rider Drive, the primary and secondary rider. I actually have more of Mac. I'm also gonna be talking about Kamen Rider Mac as I actually like him better than Kamen Rider Drive, but I do have them together. And now I have Kamen Rider Double and Kamen Rider Skull, and both of them are in the SS version, so they have the best version available. And I'm very excited about this. I Next week, so we might go into Kamen Rider Skull first before going into Kamen Rider Triple O, or who is the second rider. Now that's also a figure that I don't have much on. Oh wait, I actually have a secondary rider for him too. So we're gonna be doing what we're gonna be doing is going to be doing it starting from the first, but we're gonna be putting the secondary riders in between so that it's still part of the series. I do have a lot, but not so much. But for the last three riders, I only have the primary riders. But nevertheless, we're gonna be showing them all off, and I'm very happy with this because it's my first. It's a recent Kamen Rider purchase. Most recent one, the recent one before this was Kamen Rider Evil, and now I have him. I was finally able to complete my Kamen Rider Heisei Phase 2. And well, I'm sure you guys have it if you guys can find it. It's in Japanese stores or where, but I'm very happy with I got this. Mine as a teaser. My next week we're gonna be showing. I'm gonna be showing Kamen Rider Skull and his bike. It includes his bike. Yes, I was able to get it. I was able to get his bike, and it's actually one of one of the happiest purchases that I have. But we're gonna be doing other series as well. We're gonna be doing the Bike and Rider series because my other SH Figuarts figures I was able to buy their bikes. I don't have his yet. I'll try to find his yet so that he and Kamen Rider Skull can go riding. But I also have something special with regards to my my rider and bike series. Actually, that's also one more thing because I do have three figures wherein the rider already includes his bike, and I have it for Kamen Rider Ichigo and Nigo, which is the first two riders. So we might have to segue on that for a bit. I'm not sure. Maybe for people who are watching this, for the 10 or so people watching this, maybe if you'd like me to skip after Kamen Rider Skull, of course. After Kamen Rider Skull, would you want me to continue on with the Heisei Phase 2, or would you want me to show the rider and bike series, because they're combined in one box. So it's just like one-stop shop. You buy it, it already includes the bike, and I have three of those. I have two guys from the first two riders, and then I also have another for Decade. So I just want to share this to everybody, for Kamen Rider fans, Kamen Rider lovers. I just like to share what I have, and hopefully it makes you reminisce about the Kamen Rider episodes, or if you'd like, maybe buy it for yourself, right? Well, it took a while. It's longer than expected, but I'm really, really happy for this. So next week, we're going to be talking about Kamen Rider Skull and his bike. And after that, I would maybe need your help if you'd like me to continue on with the Bike and Rider series, or the Bike and Rider boxes, or we'd continue on to Heisei Phase 2. So it's actually going to leave it up to you for my very few people watching. But thank you very much. It's it's just something that I like to share, and I do hopefully that you can enjoy this. And so for everybody watching, thank you very much for sharing this time, and sharing this time for me, sharing this figure. And so again, next week we talk about Kamen Rider Skull and his bike, and then we decide on what to do after. But we do have that for next week, so stay tuned for next week. It's Kamen Rider Skull and his bike, and again, thank you very much, and finally got it, all 10 Phase 2.